matchup that Irelia wants because Kayle doesn't really have the ability to take over the game in the early game, especially. But yeah, as we talk about this, we are ready to load into the final game of today between Green Eggs and Spam and Asnal TV. This is do or die for both teams. Let's see who gets the victory and who goes home.
So we don't see any ball comps right now. We don't see anybody going up together. We do see 3 members moving together for Arsenal, but it looks like everybody is going to be playing it safe, just covering their entrances. I do believe in a level 1 engagement, Arsenal may have the advantage here. We will have to see how that turns out, but you know, very common starts from pretty much everybody. Zeri taking that longsword start, trying to get towards her item power spikes quicker to ensure that scaling, assuming she gets ahead. Standard Dorans on pretty much everybody else, and then the support items. You might see something happen here, but they are spotted out. I believe Seraphine might have the E available. I don't know if we can check that right now. But the Volibear over there, what does Seraphine have? Seraphine has the E. That's Zeri. That's not Seraphine. But yeah, Seraphine has not yet leveled up an ability, so it looks like she's waiting to see whether or not they engage, whether she needs to use that double E. All right, so let's see what both teams do. It looks like they're running out the timer and they're just going to leash for the junglers.
Yeah, I mean, Renata, knowing that there was no vision really put down because they did have the ability to have the first step there in the river, just plays and waits out the game and just puts out a ward there that will be able to spot the Viego if the Viego does elect to take the camps. But both junglers starting at the opposite side of the map, avoiding early skirmishes here.
Ooh,
And-
lane swap happening in the game here. You see them lane swapping in the middle of the game. Great play, understanding that, you know, they don't want to allow that matchup. They want to make sure that the matchup is in their favor for Asnal TV. Well done by them. Very aggressive trade by the Irelia, and she's, you know, very, admittedly so, punished for it by this Jax.
Yeah, I mean, the Jax is known for the counter, as we made it clear yesterday when I went to Irelia mains. But, you know, this is one of those matchups. Oh, but
The
vertical
junglers
is
are,
not
vertical.
spotted. Let's see if the Volibear wins this out because Viego.
Oh,
will
he's
be-
now spotted. Viego now looking to fight here. Smited. The Volibear does have 2 buffs here. They are going to look to fight here. Irelia not rotating over, but Jax is going to look to cover his jungler, and
Wow.
that is great. Volibear gets to get out scot-free, taking that blue buff away, and now Irelia getting evasion on. Great Q to get out of that Jax E. Jax continuing to fight here. Volibear is around, does have the flash available, uses the Sky Splitter. Great flash, but does not stun, and Irelia gets to flash out in time. Flash for flash, and while normally you would say that's worth, I wouldn't say so in this case, right? That is a major engage tool that is now missing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Seraphine might get caught out here.
yeah, but Viego is here, and Volley isn't going to be responding fast enough. There is going to be
Viego looking to go here. Jinx flashing away immediately, but now Renata gets caught out, and first blood going over to this Zeri. That is huge for Green Eggs and Spam. They realize that the jungler gank was happening mid, and now they're looking to make something happen here. Jax using evasion, but now he's taking tower shots. Gets that stun, but there's not enough damage and has to flash out. That is good for Irelia in the long run because, you know, Jax committed so much there and does not get anything in return.
Yeah, great usage of the stun there, not allowing this Jax to just freely dive and lose that much EXP. But now in terms of the gold, that does go over to the Zeri. That will be very big. Electing to go with the longsword start. So this does mean the Zeri has cut down as the last tree of that in the rune, so this does allow him to do more damage because of that Doran's Blade purchase from the Jinx. So this is going to be a very interesting game here. Oh, does Annie get caught out here? There's no
Volibear does not have stun in this case, and Annie just stunning him away, making sure that he doesn't get a chance to move forward. See, this is why I mentioned the loss of the flash earlier. It may seem like, oh yes, flash for flash, but that is one of Volibear's biggest strengths in being able to engage, and now that that's missing, not much you can do there. Great aggressive warding from Green Eggs and Spam, and trades happening here in the mid lane. 3 members here now going for the Jax. Jax is able to get away, but that is a good trade. They now get control over mid, and this Jax has to play a bit more cautiously.
Yeah, I mean, this Viego did get double scuttled on, so there is an EXP advantage on the Volibear, but this is exactly how Volibear should be in the early game, ahead and wants to be proactive. But right now, in terms of ganks, this Viego has done more around the map. But again, as Asnal TV, you shouldn't be worrying. You shouldn't be pressing the panic button just Yet you are the later game team comp. Yes, you did give 1 kill over to the Zeri, but you're still going to have this scaling Kayle, this scaling Jinx, who, mind you, didn't die in that fight. And I mean, yes, the flash was taken down. So let's see how this jungler of Green X takes note of that, and will they take advantage of that summonerless Jinx without the flash and only having the Clet.
I mean, you're talking about taking advantage. Look at this Annie taking advantage of this range versus melee matchup against Kayle. Obviously, Kayle does not become a range champion until level 6, and Annie is intending to use every second before that to whittle her down, making sure that the Kayle can't get a good, you basically can't farm, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean this
Exactly.
is okay so far.
I mean, that is exactly how it should be played in that top side, but it's actually really close in terms of only 11 CS down, and this wave is still crashing for this Kayle. So Kayle isn't really that far behind, but Kayle is getting dove here. If no, they see that he turns level 6, they choose not to go. But yeah, I mean, this Kayle will just this Kayle is fine now. I mean, this Kayle is now is still yet to be a champion, is now just a ranged person, still not a champion up until that level, that second level up in terms of ascension. I mean, this Kayle is still going to be extra safer now in lane. If this Kayle does keep this up, this allows this Kayle to just scale up rather freely. And only 10 CS down, that is something you have to commend this Kayle, especially with the poke that this Annie was able to put out. Oh, the junglers might meet each other here.
Oh, Viego using his stun, thinking that the scuttle was there. Oh, he did. Was it the stun?
He smite.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay, wow, that was great play by the Viego, getting in range with his stun. And unfortunate for the Volibear, losing out on that Scuttle. Scuttle is still alive on bot lane, so we could still, you know, it's still not a double Scuttle situation, but I would say that Viego definitely wanted that.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the items right now, if we look over at the items of this Viego, we do see the Sheen. That means that is going to be the Divine Sunder Viego. It is not one of those. It is not as strong as it was before, but it's still a very strong pick. Very, very tanky, very strong pick up for this Viego. Viego is not spotted here, but
Renata was spotted moving forward. Seraphine, a little bit aggressive here, does no longer have the stun. Uses that double cast, but just manages to ward everybody away and stays safe.
Yeah, I mean, they do have this position to take this early dragon, and the Volibear is pushing that mid lane. They do get some vision on this now, but this Jax is soloing this dragon along.
Zeri does get caught out by the Renata here. Zeri is quite low in this case. Oh, Seraphine walking towards that trap, getting caught in the chomper. Zeri using the heal aggressively in this case, trying to go forward, trying to get some whittled down damage onto this Renata, and Renata almost dies to the passive. And Irelia going in, getting the double stun with the ult as well, and great flash stun by the Viego, trying to go for this Jax. Jax manages to get away by hopping onto the Volibear, and they get the dragon, and great slow as well to prevent any further engage. So while Irelia did try her best to make a play there, there was just not enough damage, and they managed to secure the dragon as well.
Yeah, that is very big for Asnal there, knowing that this is a later game team comp. That one Infernal Drake will be very big for this for a little bit of damage in this early game. This will
Irelia going aggressively, but gets stunned by the Jax, not under tower, however, so he does not manage to get those tower shots. Irelia looking for something here. I believe the Q is available, but no more stacks, and I believe Irelia is just going to continue to play the safe. Jax now going in onto the Irelia, and Renata is around. Will we see a fight here? Irelia flashing forward, but going in, getting the kill. Bailout is used, but no takedown is enough. Volibear does use the ultimate, trying to go for the Irelia, but the bailout is just a little bit too early. The kill was too early from the Irelia, and that is a huge kill. Even though it's 1-for-1 overall, manages to blow his splash as well as take his life.
A little miscommunication coming out from the mid laner there as well. Like, the Jax knew that there is going to be a Renata to save me with the bailout, but does choose to play safe and step back, and instead loses his life there. They do give more gold over to this Annie.
Oh, huge stun onto the Volibear. They know that Volibear does not have the ultimate. They managed to get the charge a little bit over. You know, that was quite a short charge, so, you know, a little bit of an overestimation, but understandably so. But yeah, great. Giving some more gold onto this Annie who has just been abusing this Kayle. And great ultimate, almost getting the Kayle to 0 HP, having to use the Grandmaster's Might. And Tibber is almost killing her off as well, but Tibbers gets pulled back out of range. And that is unfortunate, but still, getting rid of that Grandmaster's Might is going to be huge. That is a long cooldown ultimate. So for Annie to have abused her like that was definitely in the favor of Green Eggs.
I mean, right now, in terms of the game, this is exactly how we're expecting this game to be: 2-1 and slight advantage to Green Eggs in the early game. And yeah, knowing that the main damage dealers of this Asnal TV squad is built for the late game, this is exactly how it is. It's surprising that Annie is only 500 gold up, even with plates, 4 plates actually going down. So this Kayle is surprisingly staying toe-to-toe, and as well as this Jax. I mean, this
really
Jax...
a great stun onto this Jax. Now they're fighting. Jax does use the E, getting that stun onto the Irelia. Irelia continuing to try to fight here, does still have full stacks, using that Grandmaster's Might onto the Jax, but sees the Volibear. Volibear now running in, gets that smite onto the Irelia, continuing to stun her down. Gets that slow, and I believe Jax will secure the kill here, and that is a huge gank coming in from Volibear, coming in to save his mid laner. What a play.
Big kill there for the Jax. If they get to shove this, yes they do. And this Jax does get to back safely, use the gold there. And I mean, this is just good response coming up from ATV, knowing that, okay, the Jax is the one that's supposedly winning the matchup. And we see is a little bit behind because of the great play coming out from Joso on the Irelia there. Just great responses saying that, okay, let's keep this safe, let's try not to get this Irelia super ahead like I mean, as we've seen in previous Green Eggs game. So they play safe and they play it correctly here, and this Jinx is slowly just scaling, and so is this Kayle 0-0-0, but Viego is here trying to make a play.
Viego might look for something here. Jinx flashing once again. Great ultimate that was masked inside all of that. Too bad it was just a little bit out of reach of the Viego. It was amazing encore that got the Jinx out of her flash, but you know, you did also notice that the encore, the charm itself, was cleansed by the Jinx. That is worth it though. And now Renata might get caught out by Viego here. Great pullback by the Renata, stopping the engage of the Viego. Huge.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, this Viego is getting shut down in terms of the engages possible by the gankers, by the ganks like that we've seen so far. So these are really great performances so far from all the team. I mean, both teams just playing super safe. We can see that they both want to make it through. They are going to dive the scale. Divine Judgment is ready here.
Yeah, they could dive this, but great solo kill onto the Renata. Renata bailout does not go in time, and the kill goes over to the Seraphine. They now go flash forward for this Jinx, and they know Jinx has no summoners. They get a great kill there, but great Divine Judgment onto the Jax. Jax Ignite is ticking down on him, but he will live here. Irelia and Annie now fighting this Volibear and Kayle. Irelia will go down here. Oh, great kill, and Annie saving the Irelia. Huge stun onto the Kayle as well, and that is 2 kills for this top laner, Señor Stab, proving that he's not just an Irelia player, he's an Annie player as well. Huge play. That was a 3v2 and they managed to take it 2-0.
Yep, that is the early built-in full item build Irelia there. You can see it there. Bork is completed, so Bork was able to make this Irelia sustain a lot and stay safe in that fight. Great
shields
there.
For Annie. Oh, they might look for something here. Seraphine does not get pulled back. And Zeri, E, and Viego using the Heartbreaker just as a safety mechanism, making sure that he does not give over a kill. Playing this very safe and allowing them to continue to balloon into this lead.
Yeah, great plays coming out from Green Eggs so far around the map here. Just great understanding that, yeah, we have the advantage in the early game. We should be the aggressors. We should be the one taking the fights. And this is exactly what they are doing. This Viego trying to be proactive, taking flash Ws into the face of the bot lane. They do allow this bot lane to start getting ahead now. This Kraken Slayer completed onto this already fed Zeri. So now if this does keep
Irelia might get ganked here. Renata is available and Bailout is here as well. Great Grandmaster's Might onto Renata. does use the hustle takeover, but it's not enough. Great flash forward with the Q, but Renata has her flash to keep her to safety. Great stun by the Annie, making sure that the 6 and whoa, what an ultimate from the Seraphine, and they managed to get away safely. Volibear running in, but gets stunned by the Annie. Huge play. Irelia continuing to go in here. They might try 1-for-1. Will Irelia get out of this? No, Irelia falls, but overall a 3-for-1. That is a huge play by Green Eggs and Spam. This Annie, great with her stuns, making sure to get the correct people, and the Super Mega Death Rocket, you know, it's more of an execute when it comes to the damage and just tickling this Annie and the Seraphine.
Yeah, I mean, great encore there coming out from the Seraphine at the end of that fight. It looked like both of the laners were going to get out of there with their lives, but they just get charmed, and then they still keep the dive going, and in the end only Irelia going down. So I mean, 2-for-1 in the end there, so it's still a trade worth for Green Eggs and Spam. They are now ballooning this gold lead up to 5k by 15 minutes, so this is exactly where they want to be. But as Asnal TV, you do not want to hit the panic button just yet. You do not want to make these desperation plays, because again, you have a Jinx scaling, you have a Kayle scaling. You want to just let them go to the side lane and Jinx go to the mid lane and farm up as much gold as possible and soak up as much EXP as possible. And you know, this is just play the slow game. Now it's 15 minutes in, and in terms of gold, yes, the laners are ahead by a lot. I mean, especially at the top lane, there is a 2.3k gold lead. As Asnal TV, you do not panic just yet. You do not get scared just yet. You do not go for desperate engages just yet, because you still have the late game and you still aren't that far behind. Just play slowly, don't bleed out any more gold.
Yeah, but I do want to point out a lot of the warding has been really good from both teams here. Very aggressive warding, making sure they can track each other on the map. You know, save for no, I believe almost every single time, save for the top lane 2v3. Pretty much every single fight has been a skirmish that has been spotted out in vision, and it's just, you know, the winner of each fight is basically just one team playing it out better than the other. So I like to see this aggressive warding, because it allows people to play safely. It allows people to make sure that they're not taking unnecessary risks. But yeah, as you mentioned, there is a lot of scaling for Asnal TV here. And if they manage to get to the promised land, as you mentioned earlier, then it's going to be, you know, these team fights might start to look a little bit different. So I'm very excited to see if we get to that point, or if, you know, as we've seen before, Green Eggs and Spam just take this gold lead and allow it to convert into a victory. We do see Irelia getting engaged on here. Great stun onto the Volibear, so as the Grandmaster's Might available, using her Q to go into the minion wave. And I don't believe she will escape here. Yeah, Jax manages to get that invasion, gets those last few autos, and Irelia just trying to get away at this point, but the minions take her out. As that was happening, Herald was popped topside and tier 2 was taken. So this is huge macro coming out across map, and a kill from Seraphine. Encore not hitting there, but they popped the Renata glass, making sure that she doesn't get the respawn, and the Herald did get a second charge as well. So great cross map response from Green Eggs and Spam.
Exactly, and this is great where they want the pressure to be. So
Volibear smites it away, but gets stunned by the Annie, and now Viego flashing, or Zeri flashing in. Yeah, Viego, no, sorry, it was Viego flashing in, but I believe the W just barely missed there. So very unfortunate, and Volibear manages to get away with the red buff and his life.
I mean, great pressure coming out from Green Eggs here, playing around the map, at the opposite side of the map where the play was happening. Yes, Irelia does go down, but they do get almost 2 towers there. And if they do put pressure over at that top side, it means basically there always has to be someone responding to that split push of that Green Eggs and Spam team, because they
Irelia is going to barely get
barely gets hit.
That
there.
was risky. That was a very risky phase check. This is going to be the second break for both teams. So while not necessarily a do or die fight, this is going to allow them to start going for some scaling. Stolen by the Annie. Great Grandmaster's Might as well, and now they're on the back foot. Asnal TV is trying to get away here. Great kill ultimate onto the backline there, but now we see Jax possessed by this Viego going in onto the rest of the backline of Asnal TV, and Asnal has still not dropped a single member. Seraphine and Annie now continuing to chase here. Zeri moving forward with her E, trying to chase down this Renata. Renata is going to go down here, gets slowed, and now Kayle falling as well to the Irelia. We do see the Renata trying to get away, trying to use bailout, but no takedown is going to come through, and that is an ace for Green Eggs and Spam.
Yeah, a little unfortunate on the fight there. Everything that they didn't want to happen just happened there. They lost the dragon, they lost the team fight. I mean, you saw the idea of the Kayle Renata there, it is bringing their engagers almost just the freedom to go in as deep as possible and just allowing them to get ulted by the Kayle. I mean, yes, these are lanes, these towers are going down, and this allows this Green Eggs team to just put vision around this Baron and every objective, knowing where each member of this Asnal TV team is gonna be at. So this is going to be huge with that takedown of that tower. So, I mean, now as Asnal TV, you still do have that late game, but you're going to you're going to start to panic a little bit here because yeah, they are getting extremely big. This Annie 4-0-6 and the Zeri 3-0-5 is starting to become a menace, and this is hitting their power spikes.
Yeah, and you know, that was just great team play overall by Green Eggs and Spam. The Annie Dragon Seal obviously was one of the bigger highlights there, but was something that has to be mentioned. The Seraphine Encore as well as Irelia's Grandmaster's Might were huge in the quick takedown of that Jax, which gave Viego the chance to possess the Jax, which in turn just completely screwed over the entire backline of Asnal TV. Right? They had the security in having the Jax and Volibear and the Kayle protect them, but what happens when one of your own champions is now being used against you? And that's exactly what happened to their Seraphine, and Zeri might face check into this Volibear. Viego is also around. Volibear using the Sky Splitter to get that slow, but great slow by the Zeri, and the stun as well. And now they're going to chase after the Volibear. Volibear using his ultimate to get away, getting away from the stun. Encore going just a little bit short. Now Zeri with her Runans as well, getting those hits onto Jax. Jax uses evasion, but he decides to go away, and Zeri tries continuing to chase all that movement speed. Jax having to flash away. The tier 2 tower is available here, and that slow still managing to hit as well. Great chase by the Zeri, and as that's happening, they manage to take down this Renata Glass Cup in the top lane. Grandmasters might use onto the Kayle. Kayle still has the ultimate available, but does not use it in time and falls. Double kill to this Irelia. Seraphine now chasing after the Jinx. Will this Jinx fall? No, Jinx manages to get to safety, but still another 3 kills given over to Green Eggs, and now they go for the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a very free Baron for them because there is no ways for them to position here, and there is no way for them to steal this or make it a 50-50 because Volibear is all the way at the base. But yeah, this should just be a full-on Baron for this team, and they should just go over for that 1-3-1 or that full-on just 5v5.
Super's Mega Death Rocket going a little bit late there, not getting that steal. Unfortunate.
I mean, this is going to be this looks to be a Green Eggs and Spam victory here. If they do keep this up, I mean, this could easily be a 1-3-1, guide all the lanes together, or just a full-on 5-man push there because they know they are the stronger 5-man squad. Because I mean, ATV still has not hit their power spikes just yet. Jinx has 1 item, and Kayle only has Nashor's Tooth. So this is not going to these 2 carries are not going to be doing a lot of damage at all, especially at this point of the game where Green Eggs meanwhile has hit their 2 item power spikes on the main carry. Irelia, Annie, and Zeri all having that all having the ability to just be strong in the fights, and as well as Seraphine now, who has that Rylai's, means that E is definitely always going to be a stun.
Annie has Rylai's as well, so they have so many slows, and if Annie manages to get a huge ultimate, right, these people are not just stunned, right? By the time they get out of the stun, they're slowed by this Annie as well. And even if the Annie isn't hitting them with the stun, if it's the the E, for example, for the Q, it's still a guaranteed slow onto a target, right? The Q is a point and click ability, and they're just continuing to use this Baron buff. Still a minute 30 left on this, and they're just looking to take and siege as much as possible. Dragon is also up in another 30 seconds. So this Dragon stacking is going to be huge. Jax now going in onto multiple members. They might look for a fight here. Irelia does stun them, keeping them off. And this tier 3 tower will stand for a bit longer. Jinx using that range advantage. But oh, Annie getting a stun on Volibear. They might look for a fight here. Great flash by Seraphine. Encore landing onto Jax. And now Jax is caught out here. Also takeover being used. But oh, all of the members of Green Eggs and Spam just diving into the backline and taking out another ace for Green Eggs and Spam in the base of Asnal TV. And this might just be the game. They might just end the game there. They still have Baron buff for another minute. Irelia getting that life steal from the minions, getting that damage reduction. And yes, the timers are too long. And that game ended so quickly.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
All of a sudden, just one click of a button and they just all engage and just dove under turret. Pretty much they knew they're stronger. They didn't have to worry about the carries of this game because Asnal TV was still taking their time to scale, so this was very difficult.